Yo, what's happening, everybody? Today's Sunday, June 29th, 2015. First one of these I've done in a bit. I'm in Knoxville, as you can see. And I suppose let's go ahead and get to it. First of all, I'd like to thank Zach from ZH Pottery. He sent me some samples of some things. And completely, absolutely didn't have to, but he also sent me this bowl as well. He made it. This thing is badass. Listen to this. Let me, hopefully you guys can hear how incredible this is. It sounds so good. Anyway, yeah, so thank you, Zach, in addition to the samples that you hooked me up with. I'm going to use this bowl, because this sink does not hold water. I don't know what's wrong with the thing, aside from it sucks, but that's what we're going to use it for today. So, today's shave, we're going to be going with the above the tie Kronos R2 with what it is in it. Today's soap is going to be a bufflehead creation, which I've not used on camera before. This is actually just my second time using one of these, although I did use quite a bit of his wax pass soaps when they were going by that name. But this one in particular is petit fleur. This is thanks to Reddit users Ragged Claws for hooking me up, and for JMT for making the things. Thanks, fellas. Soap is a nice little pink color, and it is just that. It's floral. It's nice. Again, I've not had an opportunity to use it yet. This is going to be my first go with it, with this particular one, but I did like the smell of it, and the performance of the one that I did use, Isla Morada, was very, very, very good. Today's brush is going to be something a little new. Been on a bit of a brush rampage, you could say, over the past couple weeks. So today, this particular brush, this is a custom brush, and this is a shavemac 2-band silvertip knot. It's pretty good. It has a little bit less backbone and less density than what I'm used to using these days, but in practice, it actually gets the job done. As for the brush itself, it's a Rudy custom, and it is based kind of on a Polo 12. The proportions are wrong. I'm actually thinking about sending this back to him to have him return it. But it is based on a Polo 12, and it's, as you can see, it's turned out of Disco Haze rod. So this brush, I've named it the YOLO 12 instead of the Polo 12. So first go with the YOLO 12 on film, quote unquote. And something tells me this is going to work just fine. Again, I still am not 100% sure of what to make of this knot. I've been using pretty much nothing but my 2-band brushes lately, which of course it's a 2-band knot, but I've been using my Morrison 400 2-band brushes quite a bit over the past few weeks, and those things wrote the book, excuse me, on density and backbone, which is why at first I was considering going with a shavemac D01 knot, excuse me, the D01 version of this knot, 2-band silvertip. But I was told that that thing is just too dense and has too much backbone to be practical, and that this is going to be the way to go. So, again, I honestly, as far as backbone and densities are concerned, neither one of those metrics on this brush can it's just not as dense, and it doesn't have as much backbone as the 2-band wet shaving products knot that I have in the Laguna Seca Badger, which is probably not going to be, I mean, Shavemac has its defenders for sure. So hopefully I didn't hurt anybody's butt when expressing that opinion. But I don't know, maybe I got anomalies in both knots, and you know, my experience isn't really indicative of what it really is. I don't know, whatever, because again, it doesn't even really matter, because still, this brush, look at that, it still does its job. It's incredibly soft. The hooks, excuse me, the tips on the end of this hair are pretty hooked, so you know, there's that as well. So let's go ahead and get this underway. So the sale of the crib is final. It closed the 18th of this month. That was pretty sad, but I was able to pay off some debt, including my car, so that's a plus. And my credit cards. This lather is very good. It's got some different ingredients than a lot of soaps out there. One of them, of course, being the tallow, excuse me, the duck fat. And instead of coconut oil, Justin went with palm kernel oil. And I read somewhere why he did it, and I can't find where it was that he said he gave his reasoning. But whatever reason he went with it, it's good. It's a good reason, because this is good stuff. This lather's very good. It hits all the marks as far as what I look for in a soap. Excuse me. The lather's very slick. Protection factor is good. The post-shave is very nice. The residual slickness also is a highlight, meaning, is there any slickness left on the skin behind once the lather has been shaved off. Also, another ingredient that he uses that I think is pretty cool is clay. Now, the problem with clay in ingredients lists is that a lot of people will take a look at an ingredients list for soap and see clay, and they automatically think that it's just a hand soap with clay added for extra slickness. It's not the case in this instance. Now, this is a purpose-built soap for the purpose of what I'm doing right now, and the fact that it has clay in it just makes it a little bit better, you know? So again, just because you see clay on an ingredients list doesn't mean that it's not a good soap. You gotta look at everything that's in it. You just gotta look at it. You gotta look at it. Because sometimes that's all you can do is just look at it, you know? And then, of course, there's the duck fat, which, of course, influenced the name of the soap company, Bufflehead. Bufflehead is a kind of duck. Spanish word for duck is pato. If you're Puerto Rican, word duck, Spanish word for duck, probably makes you laugh a little bit. Or if you know a bunch of Puerto Ricans, and you know the way that we are special butchering of Spanish. Because every nationality butchers Spanish in their own special way. Another one of the things that I look for in a soap that this one does well in is the stability of the lather. I take a wild shave because I've got a little bit more acreage to take care of than a lot of people. So the fact that that this soap can hang around for a bit without you know, excessive babysitting or whatever is just another plus. And if I remember correctly, I think he actually added an ingredient specifically for that purpose. Which not only helps people who shave their heads, but also the women who shave their legs, you know? Now again, this brush is super, super soft. Honestly, you know, again, since like I mentioned, I've been using my 2-band brushes a lot of late. So I've been living in Backbone City. Also have citizenship in New Scrubbyville too. It's just, you know, some of the properties of two-band hair. Now again, this brush does not, does not exhibit a ton of either one of those properties. Man, this stuff smells really, really nice. It is floral, and I do like floral scented things. This is really nice. I like it a lot. The other one that I have is Isla Morada. I'm not going to call it Isla Morada because I speak Spanish and that's a Spanish term. So I'm going with Isla Morada. Not to mention my brother used to live there anyway, when he was still in the Coast Guard. Yeah, again, this stuff is really floral and it smells really, really nice. Again, it's Bufflehead Soap Company. You guys that watch these videos on a regular basis know that I generally tend to stick to my favorites. As far as soap is concerned. A, because I don't want to use anything that sucks, particularly when I have so many things that work so well for me, you know. But Justin and these Bufflehead soaps are absolutely something that I am going to be keeping up with and picking up as time goes on. Not to mention the fact that he's from my second favorite city on earth. That certainly helps. With regard to Knoxville, I've at least found a couple coffee shops I like. One called Old City Java, which is in Old City, a part of the city in Knoxville, and the other one's called K-Brew. They both use a milk from a local farm here called Cruz Dairy Farms. Cruz is K-R-U-Z-E. And it's really good milk. I will say I went today to grab a cappuccino, and the guy that made my cappuccino, after steaming the milk, had to slam the cup down about 5 or 6 times to kill the bubbles in the milk from when he steamed the milk. That's a noob move, and I know it. So here's to hoping that guy steps his milk steaming game up. Look at how much is left in this brush still. This is good stuff. Buffleheads, buffleheads. So I went out Friday night for the first time. Since I moved here. It seems the main entertainment space in this city is a venue called the International, which the building itself is kind of in a weird... One second. It's in a weird part of town. The building itself appears to be some sort of warehouse from days gone by. And it looks like there's at least 2 separate event spaces in the International. Where I went Friday night was, the name of the space was the Concourse at the International. It's a pretty cool space. It's actually a pretty big space, considering the kind of music, techno. And the space was cool, actually. No, seriously, residual slickness game is on fleek. I feel comfortable doing a first pass with the amount of residual slickness left on my skin, let alone touch-ups. Well done, Justin. Well done. One second. Okay. Yeah. This residual slickness this is a trip. And that's actually something that I noted on my documented first impressions of using this soap. This is very, very good stuff. A winner on your hands, Justin. Bona fide, certified winner. Anyways, so getting back to the place. So I went on Friday, and again, it was cool. I liked the space. The sound system was actually surprisingly good. In addition to that, the guy whose PA it is, because they actually bring in the PA. I don't think that they have any house sound in that space, which is a-okay with me, because house sound systems in venues, generally speaking, unless we're talking about the end in Nashville, rest in peace, Brad Baker, house sound systems generally leave a lot to be desired when it comes to reproduction of dance music. So they had a good sound system. Also, the lights were pretty good. I'm not really a lights dude, but they're nice to have. Now, what's terrible is their noob bartenders. I went and I had about 5 drinks. They were very, very weak. I'm a big dude, you know what I mean? I can drink. And I'm just used to, man, this post-shave is nice. Which is the main reason for the inclusion of the duck fat, by the way. This is crazy. Yes, the new bartenders. I'm a big dude, I can drink. In addition to that, I know how to drink, and I know what I'm doing, and I don't drive, and blah, 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 blah. This clown cut me off after 5 gin and tonics, you guys. Last one was a water, trying to be slick. I wanted to punch him in his face. But honestly, I foresee that being a problem for quite a while in this small town. So, doesn't bode well for this place. This is an aftershave that a friend sent me the other day. I let him borrow something. He sent it back. He also gave me some of this aftershave. It is an alcohol-based splash, and there's not much sting. Maybe it's because I didn't use much. There's not much sting, but he said that it was very, you know, it's good for the skin. Maybe I'm just that incredible of a shaver where I don't have much alcohol sting, but there's not much to speak of here. I don't think it has menthol, but my skin does feel like it's cooled a bit. Maybe it's peppermint oil. I smell something cooling in the scent. I don't know if it, again, I don't know if it's peppermint oil or spearmint or something like that, or actual menthol, but feels good. Scent is very nice. Skin is nice and cooled, not much alcohol burn to speak of, and that's pretty much all that she wrote. It's been a while since I've made one of these. I've not really been feeling too well. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sad. So I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of it and make these things on a more regular basis like I was doing before. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys have had a good weekend. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you will have a good week, and I will see you at some point in the near future. Peace.